Today we're talking about a throwback. V for Vendetta is a 2005 dystopian political action film directed by James McTeague in his director debut from a screenplay written by the Wachowskis. Now, the Wachowskis are a very interesting duo of brothers. The Wachowskis, let me try to fix this, are also the ones that wrote the screenplay for The Matrix. They also wrote the screenplay for Speed Racer, which is a really good movie, which I should probably do next. Let's see. It's based on a 1988 DC Vertigo comic limited series of the same title by Alan Moore, David Lloyd, and Tony Ware. The film is set in a future where a fascist totalitarian regime, i.e. like 1984, has subjugated the UK. It centers on V, portrayed by Hugo Weaving, an anarchist masked freedom fighter who attempts to ignite a revolution through elaborate terrorist acts, and Evie Hammond, portrayed by Natalie Portman, a young woman caught up in V's mission. Stephen Ray portrays a detective leading a desperate quest to stop V. Produced by Silver Pictures, Virtual Studios, and Anarchos Productions, V for Vendetta was originally scheduled for release by Warner Brothers Pictures on November 5th, a day before the 400th Guy Fawkes night, but was delayed. It instead opened in the United States on. They probably were afraid that people might actually do some kind of crazy shit on that day. Instead opened in the U.S. on the 17th of March 2006 to mostly positive reviews from critics and was a box office success. However, Alan Moore, having been dissatisfied with the film adaptations of his other works, From Hell and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, declined to watch the film and asked not to be credited or paid for royalties. But I would have still got paid for this shit, even if I didn't like it. If I made it. V for Vendetta has been seen by many political groups as an allegory of oppression by government. Anarchists have used it to promote their beliefs. David Lloyd stated the Guy Fawkes mask has now become a common brand and a convenient placard to use in protest against tyranny. And I'm happy with people using it. It seems quite unique, an icon of popular culture being used this way. Well, yeah, because Anonymous took it over. In the near future, Britain is ruled by the Northfire political party, a fascist and authoritarian regime led by High Chancellor Adam Sutler, which controls the populace through propaganda and imprisons or executes those deemed undesirables, including immigrants, homosexuals, and people of alternative religions. I don't remember them saying any of that in the movie, but Evie Hammond is the daughter of activists who died in prison, and her brother was killed in the St. Mary's School terrorist attack 14 years earlier. So Vino, who I watched this with, thinks that that Guy Fawkes is her brother. I mean, not Guy Fawkes, but V. But according to this, her brother died. One evening, a Guy Fawkes masked vigilante V rescues her from assault by the secret police and has her witness as his bombs destroy the Old Bailey. On November 5th, V hijacks the state-run television network to address the nation, claiming credit for the attack and encouraging the populace to resist Northfire by joining him outside the Houses of Parliament on Guy Fawkes night in 1 year's time. Evie is knocked unconscious, aiding V's escape, and he takes her with him to avoid her arrest and likely execution. V kills Northfire propagandist Louis Prothero, Dr. Celia Surridge, and with Evie's assistance, Anthony Lillyman, the Bishop of London. Evie flees after betraying V, hoping to be forgiven by Northfire. Assigned to capture V, Chief Inspector Eric Finch uses Surridge's journal and information from former covert operative William Rockwood, which was actually V in disguise, to learn that 2 decades earlier, Surridge had led biological weapon research and human experimentation at the Larkhill Detention Facility on behalf of Northfire, creating the St. Mary's virus. Although dozens of political prisoners died during the experimentation, an amnesiac and cell V developed mutated immunities and disfigurements as well as physical enhancements and eventually destroyed Larkhill during his escape. It was kind of like Deadpool. Peter Creedy, head of the secret police, faked a terrorist attack by releasing the virus at targets, including St. Mary's, and used the resulting public fear to embed Northfire in power, while the company manufacturing the cure enriched party members such as Prothero and Lillyman. Evie takes shelter with her former boss, talk show host Gordon Dietrich, who shares with her his collection of illegal materials such as subversive paintings, an antique Quran, and homoerotic photographs. Emboldened by Evie and V, he satirizes Sutler on his show, leading to his execution and Evie's arrest. She takes solace in a note hidden in her cell written by Valerie Page, a woman in prison in the cell next to V. Detailing her hopes despite her impending death, tortured and facing her own execution, Evie refuses to submit to her captors and is released, finding herself in V's lair. This is probably the most fucked up part of the movie. V had intercepted Evie before Creedy's men and subjected her to false imprisonment so she could learn to live without fear. Although initially angry at V, Evie realizes that he has been avenging Valerie and the other Larkhill victims and promises to return to see him before November 5th. I feel like that's Stockholm Syndrome also. To kill the otherwise unreachable High Chancellor, V convinces Creedy to kill Sutler and take his place in exchange for V's surrender. On November 5th, V has hundreds of thousands of Guy Fawkes masks distributed across the nation, leading to a rise in mass anonymous chaos and eventually riots after the secret police kill a young masked girl. V shares a dance with Evie before leading her to the shuttered London. Oh yeah, that was a crazy part too, when they killed a little girl in the mask. She was wearing a mask. And they had like been showing the girl, like her and her family, every once in a while throughout the movie, like watching the news and seeing this shit unfold and all that. Let's see. V shares a dance with Evie before leading her to the shuttered London Underground he restored over the previous decade. Not intending to survive the night, V bequeaths the decision to start the explosive-filled train to Evie. Although she pleads that he abandon his crusade and leave with her, he refuses. Creedy meets V and executes Sutler before demanding V unmask. But in spite of being shot and badly injured, he kills Creedy and his men, stating that the idea he represents is more important than his identity. V returns to Evie, dying in her arms after admitting he loves her, and Finch finds her placing V's body aboard the train, but allows her to start it after she affirms that the people need hope. With Sutler and Creedy dead, the military forces in London stand down as countless citizens dressed as V descend on Parliament and witness its destruction. Finch asks for V's true identity, to which Evie replies, "He was all of us." Yeah, it was a fire movie, 5 stars. And I just read the whole movie kind of in 10 minutes, which is kind of crazy. But it's way better than just how I read it. But that was like the wiki. What's interesting is that whenever the lockdowns were going on, you know, obviously people reference that movie like, oh, this is quite interesting similarities. You know what I'm saying? I feel weird because of the angle. So I gotta I should have yeah. So check it out. It's pretty dope. I never read the graphic novel. I wonder if it's good. 5 star. V for Vendetta. And V is also 5 in Roman numerals, so check it out.